Honestly, I do feel like I'm almost not black enough for black people on campus, and I'm like too black for white people on this campus. I'm not black enough for blacks because I don't represent the cool blackness of today or modern society. When in all reality, it's really reflecting hip hop culture. And I personally, I'm not too much of a fan of what's been made of hip hop, but it's something I have to, keep in mind because that's sort of the standard that people kind of expect out of you. For white culture, I just come off too black for them. I don't assimilate. I don't assimilate myself. For me, fitting in is really awkward at times because physically I don't really fit what Lafayette looks from a major standpoint. I'm a part of the minority, and on an aesthetic level, I don't really fit in as well because I come from a whole different sort of fashion, whole different way of being taught and raised, whole different way of carrying myself as well. So, to be a black man is to walk with pride, have integrity, know that you're different, know that you'll stand out, know that you'll have a stereotype hitting you in the back, even though you're a much different person from that. And trying to choose friend groups, I think it's really hard to say. I think simply because, people are usually geared towards going with what's physically familiar to them. And so for me, that's, other black people. But in a way, I think I started to stray away from that, and I started to just try to find people that shared actually the same set of values as me or had a similar state of mind at least, where they can understand how to be open, how to be an active listener, how to understand, and how to be compassionate. I feel as though a lot of people that I thought I'd be associating with, they may not hold those same values, and the difference in that comes in the difference of who I'm able to hang out with and who I can open up to and who I can actually be Fabian with. Where it's almost like an invisible wall of trying to get through that in order for someone to understand you. In a society where majority is white, you kind of have to appeal to that. And appealing to that sort of culture means you have to put yourself out there and do a few uncomfortable things in order to really make yourself feel comfortable. My behavior changes around other groups from the simple fact I learned how to code switch from growing up. I think that's the term for, understanding how to converse between different groups. I think code switching for me gets awkward because you understand where you have to hold a part of yourself back, and then you understand where you can let some of yourself out. I'm not the ideal black guy. Like, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, black, tall. I'm not a basketball player. I didn't come here on athletic scholarship. I'm not an athlete. I play sports for recreation. I'm not illiterate. I'm not ignorant. I'm not negligent. But you still have those pressures on you. So if you're not an entertainer or you're not an athlete, you're not shit. I think 5 words that society uses to represent black: nigger, ignorant, aggressive, hateful, black. Without the right sort of nurturing or, cultivating, a lot of black men fall to the wayside. And it's not even their fault. It's just because they become a product of destructive communities. I mean, I'm one out of 500 high schoolers that made it to Lafayette. I'm one of 500 high schoolers from my own high school that made it into the Posse program. Being Fabian is the #1 thing I know of being. It's the only way I live, Well, obviously, I'm in the gray. So, what's your story?